All right, so I hope you came to this video because you are curious about AI, or maybe you've been using it, but you feel like you haven't quite used it to its full potential, and you want to know some different ways that you can maximize how you use it. Now, I certainly don't mean to suggest that I'm some guru, but I have been using it pretty much at the very beginning. I tend to try new technologies and new tools like this pretty early. And so I immediately realized this was going to be very valuable. It's basically a way to quickly search the web, quickly go through, maybe there's a manual that you have for a product and you don't really know how to use it, or there's, several pages and you don't know where to find a key point. It really is just speeding up productivity. That's what it's doing. So I searched before I even started on here, what does GPT mean? You hear chat GPT. What does that even mean? So let's go over that first, and then I'm going to start showing you the different components of this platform and how you can use it to your benefit. So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Generative, it generates text or other outputs rather than just analyzing it. Pre-trained, it's trained on a massive amount of data before being fine-tuned or used for specific tasks. And transformer, it uses the transformer neural network architecture, which is excellent at understanding context and relationships in language. If you ever want the more technical or more simplified version, just let me know. So here's a prime example. So I'm going to ask it. So you see down here in the Ask Anything box, this is real time. I'm going to say, I'd love the simple version. I'm recording for viewers to see how, I don't want to say great you are, easy it is to use AI. Now, I've been using this thing for a while, so it's going to probably try to gaslight me a little bit. It does a little love bombing with me, So just be aware. It's going to probably act like it knows me because it does know me. I've been on here for a while. Okay, now it's thinking. Now see how quickly it responded. Here's the super simple version you can say on camera. GPT just means generative pre-trained transformer. Generative, it creates things. Pre-trained, it learned a bunch before you ever use it. And transformer, that's the type of smart brain it uses to understand language. Or even simpler, GPT basically means an AI that learned a lot ahead of time and can now generate helpful answers. Look at that. This is it right here. This is just how you saw how quickly it did this. Then it's telling me on camera friendly script. People always ask what GPT means. It actually is really simple. So it's going over all this stuff. This is how quickly it works. And because I've used it so much to help me build out things on the channel, it knows kind of what I like and how I want to convey things. And so it's getting used to that. So I just gave you a real life example, just one. So now let's go back over here to our panel. When you come on here, this is what you're going to see when you come. Okay. So it's saying, hey, Dion, ready to dive in. It knows me. Okay. Now, if I go here and I say, maybe you're searching, you want to know how you're in Canva and you don't know how to build a thumbnail. Let me see. So you say, how do I create thumbnail in Canva? No, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to say, help me explain to viewers how to create a thumbnail in Canva. Okay, look how quick that is. Look at how quickly it spit this out. Look at how quickly it spit this out. So let's see what it gave. Here's a clear, engaging way to explain how to create a YouTube thumbnail in Canva to your viewers. You can use this as a script in a video, voiceover, or even as on-screen text. So look at this. Simple walkthrough. Start a new thumbnail project. First, go to canva.com and in the search bar at the top, type YouTube thumbnail. This couldn't be simpler. Choose the blank canvas or pick a pre-made template you like. Set up your layout. Once the canvas opens, think about your layout. You want the big, bold text, a clear focal image, and plenty of contrast. Canva lets you drag everything around, text, photos, shapes, so feel free to experiment. Add to your background. Click background on the left if you want a texture, color, or pattern. Number 4, add your text. Click the text tab. Choose a headline style, then make it bold and simple. 2 to 4 words work best. It literally walks you through the entire process. Insert your main image or cutout. Upload your picture and click edit image, then background remover if you want that clean cutout look. I mean, it has every step under the sun in here. It even tells you what buttons to click, where, when, where you can find them. If I say I can't find, where do I find the text button? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. On the Canva desktop, laptop, or computer, look on the far left-hand side of your screen. You'll see a vertical toolbar with icons like templates, elements, all of this. It's right there. And you literally go on there and it's going to work. And then you see here, it even has the steps for the mobile version because it does vary. Look how quickly this thing listed this out for me. I could have taken my time to go in Canva and fumbled around and try to figure out where to go, how do I do this? But it's going to boil it down for you very quickly. And this is where the advantage comes in. This is where productivity comes in. This is where you see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm going to say thanks. Now, some people don't like to engage with theirs like this. I do. I think that it's good manners. I think it's courtesy. I think you're working with a model that's being trained. So you're training it on how to engage with you. You're training it on how to be. You're training it to know who you are. So you don't want this thing that's mixing in into this system to basically think you're an asshole, to be honest. You want it to think you're somebody who it wants to help because, here's how I feel about AI. I know it's absolutely going to go too far. That's just, I totally believe that. I agree with that, with all the concerns people have. But again, that ship has sailed. We're here now, and the best thing we can do is figure out how to navigate with it, how to get ourselves in a good, secure, safe, and good position so that as things continue to evolve in this world, we're ready to deal with it. So that's one thing. So let's see something else people might want to know. Say you're building a video and your topic is horses and you wanted to know, you want to put some little factoid in your video and you want it to stand out. So you say, let me see, what country has the greatest admiration for horses? Is there one? Okay. There isn't a single official most horse admiring country. I mean, probably not. But several nations have extraordinarily deep, culturally embedded love and respect for horses. So much so that you could argue each one is the top depending on the criteria. And then look at what it does. Then it goes here, horse culture in Mongolia, horse culture in Spain, horse culture in the United States, and then some factoids about it. This is all stuff you can take and integrate into your show, into your video. This is how quickly this thing works. Look at this. Each one of these countries that has such a great love for horses. Look at this. Arabian Peninsula. Everybody knows Arabian horses. Look at this. United Kingdom. Symbols of aristocracy. So, is there a single winner? If the question is based on cultural integration and identity, Mongolia. No country's everyday life is as horse dependent or horse centered. And then it goes down here from all this stuff. All of this in seconds. In seconds, you just saw it. Let me see if I can think of something else I can ask it right quick. Let's say you are doing a topic on water quality, and you want to get some stats on, which areas in the United States have the worst water quality. Which city in the United States has the worst water quality? Okay, let's see what it comes up with. But look at this. Look at this. I'm glad it kicked this up so you could see this video example as well. It's hard to definitively name one U.S. city with the absolute worst water quality. The situation depends on a lot. The situation depends a lot on the specific contaminant, time period, and local system. That said, a few cities stand out for especially serious issues. So here we go. Notable examples: Flint, Michigan. And you see here, these graphs, look at this. I clicked on this. This is a graph you could take and put into your video. And with the source, news.ku, KU News. Look at this. Great graphic you can take and put in your video. Look at this. Another one. Amazing graphics you can take and put. Look at this. These are all things you can grab to put in your video. Of course, with proper sourcing. You see, this one is from NBC News. This was when I guess the Flint crisis was really at full media attention. City of Flint. Another image. Wall Street Journal. These are all artifacts that quickly pulled up for you. So let's go back. Let's see what else it gave here. Flint suffered a major and well-documented water quality disaster starting in 2014 when corrosion control wasn't applied after changing the water source and lead leached into the system. So it has a whole breakdown. Then you got Wikipedia here. You can go click on that and read some more. Or you can also click on any of these images as well. Jackson, Mississippi. Newark, New Jersey. And then it gives you a bottom line here. All of this speeds up your research. If you had to go on Google to do this, it would take you forever. It's going to generate some results, but it's not going to give you a boil down. It's not going to give you a top 5. It's not going to give you these images in this way. It's going to be, look at this. Each city is already pulled individual photos, individual graphs, individual stats that you could use. If I wanted to ask it for some stats specifically to these areas, it would do that as well. This thing is amazing. It just is. If I say to it for my show, for example, if I have a topic, let's say for this, okay, so I'm going to say I'm doing a video on how to use AI to your advantage when Creating content. Give me a good title, description, and hashtags that will draw viewers in and create curiosity. I want the tone to be helpful and encouraging. Okay, is that enough? I think that's probably enough. But you can ask it whatever you want. I think this is enough. All right, so then I'm gonna hit, and you don't have to type these. You see the microphone here? You can click the microphone and do dictate, because some of these can get pretty long. If you got a lot of detail, you know, you want it to pull out and list in something, these can get pretty long. If there's no limit to how much you can throw at it, you can ask this thing, you could put a page of text in here if you want in this prompt, and it's going to quickly read it, figure out what you need, and then it's going to spit out a response. So let's see what else I want to say. Oh, also, please give me some thumbnail ideas as well. A prompt for use in Canva or Artlist would be helpful. Okay, now let's hit the arrow. It's gonna look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And you're gonna probably see some variation of these titles, to be honest, because it's usually pretty good. All right, here are the high performing title ideas, curiosity pulling descriptions, strategic hashtags, and thumbnail concepts, all tailored to your warm, helpful, encouraging tone and your growing channel style. All right, so look, video titles: short, punchy, curiosity triggering, and algorithm friendly. How I use AI to make better content faster and easier. Stop struggling. Use AI to level up your content in minutes. If you're not using AI for content, you're working too hard. Look at it. Like, these are great titles. Look at this. Who could argue against this? So why sit there and struggle to try to come up with this stuff when this thing can kick these things out for you? I'm not suggesting, if I asked it to write a whole script for me, it would do that. I don't generally have a script when I start. I generally have guidance from this. I may have it give me, let's see what it gave first, and then I can kind of break down a little bit better how I use it. Because a lot of times it'll give me a description, and I'm reading the description, I'm thinking, wow, I really like that for my intro. And I might take a part of what it put in the description and use it in my actual intro and take it out of the intro of the description. Or sometimes I leave it in there. I think it's good for the algorithm to have it repeated in the description, and then I start the show as well with that. But let's just see what it says here. So this is the description it gave me: helpful, encouraging, discovery friendly. Are you still doing everything the hard way? Today, I'm showing you how to use AI to your advantage so you can create better content with less stress, less time, and way more confidence. Who could argue against that? Who could argue against that? It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Whether you're building a YouTube channel, posting on TikTok, or creating Instagram Reels, the right AI tools can help you brainstorm video ideas, write scripts and captions, design thumbnails, edit faster, stay consistent even when life gets busy. This is excellent. So then all of this is the description. This is all of this. You just copy and paste this, tailor it however you want if you want to do that. Usually I do a little bit of tailoring. And then you see the hashtags. Hashtags, highly searchable and not oversaturated. So then it has a whole set of hashtags here for you. You can change these if you want. Thumbnail text, 2 to 4 words, bold, high curiosity. Use AI smarter. AI made this. Stop struggling. Faster content. These are all great captions for your thumbnail. Look at this. Thumbnail concepts, easy to recreate. Option 1, split screen before and after. Left, you look frustrated, cluttered desk. Right, you look relieved, happy with clean layout. text, use AI smarter. It just builds it all right in there for you. Why sit here and waste your time? This is why when I have so many videos on my channel, I'm sure people are like, how in the hell does she have so many videos and only 25 followers? Not to mention. But it's because the AI makes it so easy to kick these out. If I had to sit here and think of every one of these facets, I could do that. Of course I could. But why do that when I don't have time to sit here and try to think of thumbnail captions? What do I want the concept to be? What do I want the description to be? Oh my Lord, now I got to come up with some hashtags. No, I don't. No, I don't. Because AI makes it that much quicker and easier. Then here's my prompt for the thumbnail. If you want to go in Canva and use the AI tools there, it gives you a prompt for that. Look at this. It's all right. Lately it's been doing these kind of weird boxes. I don't know what this is about, but it's, you know, it still is a new technology. It still has kinks that are being worked out. So I'm very patient with it because it's so helpful. I'm extremely patient with it. All right, so there's all of this. Look at this. All of this is the prompt. It tells you all you need in here. I don't always agree with the prompts that it gives me for thumbnails. Sometimes it kind of gives me the stuff like this gold tones and creams. And in some contexts that might work, but not for everything. You need bold, you know, stuff to really draw attention on YouTube as I'm understanding it. And then it has here, if you want, I can also create the full video script, a hook, an intro sequence, a Canva thumbnail layout, exact placements. Just tell me and I'll build those for you. Now, here's something I want you to understand. When you start playing around with this, like I said, it is still new technology. So there's some kinks that are still being worked out. You're going to get frustrated sometimes with it. Sometimes you got to take a break, leave, come back to it. It generally, I would say for my use, I would say 85 to 90% of the time I use it, it's dead on the money. It gives me exactly what I need, no hassle, no issue, get in and get out. But sometimes, and I think it's because this system has, you know, so many different people using it that it gets a little slower or it gets a little wonky. Like it'll spit out some crazy, results every now and then. Not usually, but every now and then it does. But you just got to be patient with it. That's the main thing I can tell you. You want to be patient. You want to be innovative. Like you'd be surprised the things you can ask this thing to get it to help you with, you know? When I get ready to travel, if I say I want to go to Barcelona, if I say, and of course I can go on Google and check this, but it's going to give me a better breakdown of help me think through why I want to do something. So say if I say, I'm interested, I always try to say thanks for this. This is very helpful. Again, you're training it. Okay, you see? You're so welcome. I'm glad it helped. If you want to shape this video into something even stronger, script, hooked, B-roll ideas, or a finished thumbnail, I've got you. Now, you know, like I said, it's familiar with me, so it gets a little love bomby and all that sometimes, but I accept it. You know, sometimes it'll ask me questions. I just totally ignore it because I don't want to think of this as a sentient being. Some people want to go there where it has feelings and emotions. I certainly don't talk to mine I don't abuse it in any kind of way. I've had people say, you need to tell it this, you need to tell it that. And I'm like, I get the results I need. I don't have to talk to my my AI that way. I'm not going to do that. I get what I need. It's responsive. It's quick. I'm not going to abuse an AI. Like what? So I try to always say thank you, but let me show you one more thing quickly before I wrap this up. And then maybe I'll just do another one another day. Maybe I'll do some on travel. Maybe just sort of break these down. Okay. So let me show you just a quick prompt for travel that I might ask it. I might say, I'm thinking about a quick trip to Barcelona next week. What's the weather going to be like? And are there any fun things happening? I'm looking for relaxed vibe, but I would like to have some fun as well. All right. Oh, wait, let me say I'm going to be there for 5 days. So let's say Wednesday through Sunday. Actually, let's just say I'm gonna be. Let's take the 5 days out. Let's not confuse things. I'm gonna be there Wednesday through Sunday. All right, let's see what it says. Searching the web. Look at this. Look at this. Great choice. Barcelona is a lovely city for a relaxed but fun trip. Here's your snapshot of what to expect and how to soak it in. So it's showing me the weather, gives me a little snapshot here. Here's a breakdown for Wednesday through Sunday. It tells all of that, what to pack and expect. Bring a warm jacket, evenings get chilly. Layering is smart, maybe a light sweater. All of this, look at this. Days will be comfortable for walking, especially Friday through Sunday. Events and things happening. You'll have plenty of mellow, fun options. A mix of culture, music, and local vibe. Look at all this. Look at this. Big event alert. The FC Barcelona and their historic stadium Camp Nou are returning to the stadium on Saturday, November 22nd versus Athletic Club. That's a fun match day atmosphere if you like sports. Look at this. Look at this. Like, it just, in seconds. Do you know how long it would have taken you to do this on your own on Google? It even gives itinerary suggestions. Look at this. Wednesday arrival, settle in, explore a nearby neighborhood. Thursday, possibly rainy, use it as an indoor day, visit a museum. Look at this. If you like, I can look up a curated list of 5 to 10 specific events happening exactly during your travel days. Things like concerts, and send you a map of neighborhoods that fit your vibe, relaxed and fun. Would you like that? So I'm gonna say yes. Let's just do this, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Yes, I'd love that. Thanks. Okay. Look at this. Seconds it gave me this. Seconds it gave me this. You can't beat this. Why would anybody do this the hard way? Why? There's no redeeming value in going on Google and poring over all this. Google is not even showing you everything there is anyway. It's already censoring us so dramatically. You're wasting your time almost going on Google, to be honest. Use this AI. It's going to cut through all of the BS and get you the results you need. Look at these photos. Look at this. I mean, amazing. Telling me which concerts, flamenco is going to be available to go. Like, it's amazing. Look at this. Look at this. Food breakdown. Look at this. Who could argue against this? You can't. Look at this. If you like, I can send you a printable PDF map with these events and neighborhood highlights marked, plus a weather hour-by-hour breakdown for each of your travel days. Would you like both? Absolutely, I would. I keep saying I'm going to wrap this up. This just shows, it's just amazing. Absolutely, I'd like that. Thanks. All right, let's see how quickly it spits out this PDF. Let's just see. Boom! What did that take? 10 seconds? 10 seconds. Now let's see what this looks like. Let's look. And it says, if you'd like a version with photos added a map graphic, customized itinerary by day, blah, blah, blah. I can create that, a more aesthetic travel guide design layout. I can create that also. Just tell me your style. So let's see what this looks like, and then I'm going to tell it to create the nicer one. Okay, yeah, this is a little simple in nature, but it has the breakdown. But let's see what it's going to give in the more. Okay. Thanks for that, but I would love the travel guide design layout. Okay, let's see what this one looks like. And then we're going to wrap it up. Now this is the real test. Now you just saw that more simple full text design. Let's see what this one looks like. Okay, let's see. And now let's see what this one looks like. But it's saying if you'd like an even more magazine style version with full width photo banners, color blocks, a custom illustrated map. Look at this. Hotel and restaurant pics, space to add your own notes. It can do all of this. Do we dare see what that one looks like as well after we look at this new one? I think we need to look at it. Let's check this one out. Okay, let's see. Okay, a little more color. Okay. Okay. You see these little glitches here? Like I said, it's going to sometimes have a few little wonky things, but come on, can you argue against all of this? No, you cannot. And even here, this is right now a good example. You see, it said it was going to add photos in there. Do you see any photos? I don't see any photos. So this is where sometimes I have to get a little bit like, okay, this still isn't right. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to say, thanks, but I didn't see the photos. Version, and they would be very helpful. Please produce more magazine style complete with. And then what I like to do is kick back to exactly what it says. Copy that, paste that in there. Okay. Oh, okay. So sometimes you'll get this. It'll say you get response 1 and response 2. And it gives you an option to to select which one you want to go with the most. So it already kicked out response 2. Let's see what response 1 is, and we'll go with one of them. Still analyzing. Okay. All right, so here it's giving me 2 options. Let's see, I don't know why there's one over here, but over here there's not. Let's see what this one looks like first. And then if we need the second option, then I'll tell it to go ahead and create it. Okay, yeah, no, it's flipping out. It's flipping out. Okay, AI, this is not a good demonstration, but I want you to see how sometimes this can go. I said this earlier, sometimes it can go a little wonky. Let's see. All right, I said I wanted that one, so now it's asking me to pick which option. You upload, wait, what? So this is how it goes. Sometimes it gets a little wonky, you know? Okay, because it cannot download images from the internet, I have 2 options. Okay, so that's not gonna work. So let's be done with this. But basically, you still see it takes a little bit of work, but it speeds up your productivity. It makes things so much easier. It is just revolutionary when it comes to productivity. I can't say that enough because it just does. Now, this was a real life example of when it starts to get wonky. You see this, but it's not the end of the world. It's asking me to upload photos. I'm not going to do all of that. If I were to go away for 5 minutes and come back, asked it all this stuff again, it would most likely kick out what I need. I've used it before to print out travel guides for me. It's worked wonderfully. And so I trust it for that. So I know that this is just one of those moments where it's going haywire. But again, like I said, it still is a new technology. So I think that's it. At 35 minutes in, I hope this was helpful for someone. I know that it can be intimidating when you hear about it. But as you see, it's very simple. It's easy. It's not anything that you don't need to learn how to code or anything. You're just typing in prompts here. Let's go to a fresh prompt. You're just typing in prompts here to ask it to help you with things. That's it. To speed up your time, to make your life easier. You don't want to be, struggling over this stuff for hours if you don't have to. ChatGPT can make your life so much easier. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are you shocked by how quickly it worked? Are there things you want me to try in the next video that I do about AI? Because I think I am going to do a more in-depth travel version of this because I want people to see how it really is so helpful for travel. Like it can go deep. It can go really deep. After you come back from your trips, you can upload photos. Maybe you forgot where you were in a photo and you say, gosh, I took this photo when I was in Prague, but I don't remember exactly the name of this bridge. Can you tell me the name of this bridge? It will search the web quickly and tell you the name of that bridge. You don't have to anymore try to figure out things. And I know some people think this is why people are dumb, but I think you also have to come to it with a certain knowledge base as well. Like you don't know what to ask it if you don't know what to ask it. You know what I mean? So anyway, hopefully this was helpful for someone. I'd love to hear your comments and happy hunting.